Hello and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the Bullfrog still without the newt. If he was here, he'll be behind the camera saying right now, face reveal at 100,000 subscribers, and we would love to have the subscribers. So please, like, share, subscribe. Leave a discussion in the comments, because we are about to start Bahubali. This is not a reaction, this is a review. I can't wait. I have the remote, I have my mug, and this is starting raw. Bahubali! 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 Bahubali is really interesting and very one of a kind. It's a very interesting film. The story is just jaw-dropping. Simple as it is, it's very complicated. For this child raised in the village and him finding love in the most cheesiest way possible, this director and screenwriters said this to Hallmark. Hold my beer. We're Hallmark. You sure you want us to hold this? Yeah, sure. It's gonna be good. Alright, let's see more. Next scene. You did that? Out of everything you should do to American culture and one up on, it's everything but Hallmark. It is the cheesiest place ever. In Christmas, it gets worse. And you told them that? Wow. Yes, that kind of marks you down on the bad side, but at the same time, you do kind of redeem yourself in the level of romance. I mean, we have one of the most craziest moments ever I've seen, to the point that after I had to rewatch it 3 times to understand you just said that, right? Hey, she's firing arrows at you and you're saying this? What the crap is with you? It was so ridiculously awesome and cheesy and just perfect machismo. I needed a drink. Yes. Yes. That scene got me laughing really hard. This love story, rough and cheesy as it is, did lead to what I thought looked like a 1990s MTV music video. Very beautiful, and the music is head-bopping. Most of the music of this film is pretty cool. This is not exactly an American film, so our cultures may be different. But I love RRR, and I like how you do it. This is not like a musical moment. No, this is a music video moment from MTV. And I liked how fun you guys had and how interesting you build it up. And I thought I almost felt nostalgic. But then this part of the movie, this moment, I found very uncomfortable as it was progressing more at the end of it. You weren't naughty, but yet you were naughty, and I didn't like that. It's not to my levels of comfort. But I'm not most America. I'm sure there's over 1 million guys that would love that scene. I am just not one of them. But it doesn't mean I'm not saying I don't like women. It's just I was very uncomfortable with that. But as the movie progressed, just showing off its sets, which I am in love with, the story does lead into an interesting spot, and I liked it. There's this Shiva story, and then there's this side story of where you get to know this city, and the city is just beautiful. If India did its Lord of the Rings, and this is Gondor. This is what Gondor would look like. Time when this location is on screen. I can tell some of it is CGI, but some of it looks so real. I need to know, is this a set or is this a location? If it's a set, Hollywood, study. I want this. As much as you guys enjoy green screen, I want this. But if it's a location, please tell me in the comments where it is in India so I can save up my money and one day visit this. It is just too cool. It's so beautiful.
Nice.
I needed a drink every time I saw this on screen. It was just that beautiful.
Nice.
The movie has like 3 parts, like everything else. There's the beginning, middle, and end. The beginning is setting up characters and setting up the story. The middle for the movie is very much a cheesy love story that tells Hallmark to hold its beer, which you guys shouldn't do. And part of the middle, you introduce this to the city, their characters, the bad guys, and a cool bodyguard whose place in this story is very intriguing to me, because he's loyal to this honor, and the honor is to protect who rules the kingdom, and the person who rules the kingdom are the bad guys. He wants to kill these people, but because of this honor code, he will risk his life to save the people he wants to kill. That is a very intriguing predicament you put him in. That is really well done. But this third part right here, the last third, we get something very interesting. It's Game of Thrones, politics.
I pay the iron price. I will take my crown.
And it ends with Lord of the Rings battle. How did this spot happen? Well, this spot is basically telling us what is Bahubali and who is Bahubali. And we learn from this section where Shiva really comes from, who are his real parents. This leads to this backstory where it's just jaw-dropping. The intrigue, the politics. The writers were amazing in this. It was very wordy. I had to go back and watch it again and again in some spots so I can understand. But it was still really well done. And this actress, I don't want to ruin your name, but I think out of everyone acting so far in Bahubali 1, the beginning, she's the best. I feel her wrath. I feel her power. Game of Thrones level of power. Charles Dance playing Tywin. I feel her level. She has that level. And I liked it. She's just so intriguing to learn more on whenever she's on screen. I'm just, okay. How are you going to one-up everyone on stage again? Please go on, girl. Members of the pond who are in India, please put in the comment section other movies she's been in, because I want to see more of her. I think she's the one who outshines everyone on screen. She's so good. Really an amazing actress. I liked her in this. The bad guys are really interesting, and it's generational, which is something you don't see that often. You have bad guy grandpa, bad guy son, who is the real bad guy, and the bad guy grandson. I'm bad with names, and I don't want to disrespect any of the actors and these characters. I'm just going to call them these nicknames. And those 3, whenever they're on screen, I'm going, yeah, I want to slap them across the face like no more.
20 seconds.
But the grandfather and the father, they were just more jerks. I really want to see their comeuppance. The son got his comeuppance in this movie in an interesting way I never thought I would see. Yeah, you see people beheaded, but not like this. The way how this movie was done, I like. The actors doing it, you're all good. And the story, there's some rough spots, but it's pretty good. The sets, locations, you just heard me rant about that. You're a dated movie, and your CGI kind of shows it off a bit. Mostly at the ending with that big battle scene. But yet at that same time, that kind of adds to your charm. There's some spots that really throw you off, but there's some spots you just are so much in love with the film that you can't help but go, I don't care. I love it too much. And a lot of my favorite movies have that problem too. And yet there is some hiccups, mainly in that last battle scene, because in there, these characters are fighting, when you have Bahubali and the bad guy in this big epic Pelennor Fields style battle, the locations of where they're shifting, you can turn off your brain and you can ignore it. But once in a while, even though your brain's turned off, you can't help but click and go, wasn't he right there in the middle of an army and now he's just by himself riding a horse?
You aren't thinking.
How did that happen? Yes, there's hiccups and like that throughout that moment, and you could say there are some hiccups in this movie, but no film is perfect.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
And I like how it does the in-world politics and how this woman is just plain boss. I need to know what other movies she's been in, people. Please tell me. This movie felt like the biggest purpose they wanted to do was entertain me. And I felt like I was being respected, and I felt like I could watch this movie again and again. There's just, again, that MTV music video song that pushed my boundaries, and then there's a second song where during the last third of the film, during the flashback, when they're in this den of thieves, and it leads to another very sexy song. And I don't feel like I missed the story as much. Some people will go, you missed a lot, a good chunk. I'm going, yeah, but I kind of got the gist. And again, I was very uncomfortable. Other than 2 music video romance scenes, I felt very comfortable with this film. I really enjoyed it. And one of the best cliffhangers I've seen in a film.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
We rate books, movies, and shows 1 out of 7. Why? It's an odd number. And because 4 is that middle number. And Bahubali? Honestly, I give this movie a 6 out of 7. Yeah! I'm intrigued to figure out what Bahubali the conclusion would lead to. Am I ready for that film? That is the question. But until that time comes, it's the Bullfrog without the newt signing out. Oh my gosh, are there any more movies like this in India? I would like to know.